Doesn't a regulator clock
better.
regulate time?
Oh, yeah, the
It regulates
regulator
clocks.
clock is the thing that the planets check when they're making sure they're like doing their orbits correctly.
Are the planets genlocked?
Damn, that's a
Damn,
deep thing.
you got to laugh
Shoot.
from back there.
I can't tell everything's.
That's hilarious. Yo, what is good, people of the internet? Welcome back to another episode of the Waveform podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Marques.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm David.
And we're coming at you live. Not really, but I like saying it. We're coming at you live from
It's live right
Cupertino.
now.
It's live for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, from Apple Park. We're recording this on Wednesday like usual, and if you remember what happened this week as you listen on Friday, Tuesday, yesterday for us, was the September Apple event. So that's most of what we have thoughts on and what we're going to be talking about this week. You can see that Adam and Ellis are over here at a really tall, professional-looking desk.
No, we're just standing.
I don't know how I feel about both of you having microphones, but it is a new look.
It is weird.
That's
People
uncomfortable.
will be happy.
My favorite thing is that I am now like 2 feet above all of you, so I can just stare down at all of you guys.
Yeah, you're kind of staring us down up there, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No
we
pressure.
do. We have a lot of stuff to go through. You may have already watched the impressions videos and the things we've posted about the various iPhone 17s, AirPods, watches. Now we can get into the weeds on thoughts and conspiracy theories and reactions and things that we all have
Starting off
experienced
hot.
with this new stuff.
Chemtrails.
Where do we begin?
All right, I think we should begin. The first thing I want to ask is, so some of you guys were at the event, some of us watched the live stream.
Right.
I heard there were 3 good mornings.
Yeah,
to start this off.
So this is a little thing. Some people may know or may not know that, when you watch the keynote online, you see the pre-recorded video. When you go to an Apple event, specifically like the September event like we were at, or WWDC, they play that video for all of us. But if it's a 9 o'clock event, right at about 8:59, usually Tim Cook, an Apple executive, comes on stage and goes, "Hey, welcome to the event," and like warms up the crowd, and then they play the event
for
on
like
the screen.
15 seconds.
So what happened was
make it
Tim
seem
Cook,
worth it.
came out, a minute before the start time. He hit us with a triple good morning.
Good morning.
True.
And was, this is a very big day for the iPhone, things like that.
Triple tap.
And then they played the video for us. So yeah, we got a triple.
The triple good morning sounds like a great way to start the morning.
You put that into Slack, and I was very upset because I was waiting for the good mornings, and we didn't see it in the stream.
Yeah, only the theater got the triple.
We got
good
some
morning.
recordings.
Yeah.
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 I also want to start off before we get into any of the products. The opening scene of this event, I think, was one of my favorites in a few years. Apple loves transitions. They love opening scenes. They love montages. This was like a really simple product focused one that started with like a bunch of different circular pieces of products or UI elements that then went into squircles like the Mac Studio, and then went into hearts and all these different things. And I think that my favorite transition was a like robot shot down into a MagSafe charger, which opened, and then the pins turned into the typing indicator of like iMessage. And then I think that turned into Dynamic Island with like AirPods connecting. Usually in the past, it's like all these different setups of people using Apple products, and it's whatever. But I thought this one was like product focused and really cool way of seeing all their different, things that happen in software and products together in these awesome match cuts.
Yeah, it was a nice design homage.
It was a really good
nice.
design homage.
Yeah. Well, then they basically got right into it with the products after that.
Yeah.
So
There are many products.
there's a bunch of different orders we could do this. You want to do like the small ones first
I
and
think
then the
so.
phones after?
I think so.
Retention.
But I wouldn't even say that they're necessarily small,
Okay.
because the AirPods Pro 3 I did get to try at the event.
All right, let's start there.
They are smaller
Sounded
than the iPhone.
amazing. They are smaller than the iPhone.
They are.
They're not as thin as the iPhone Air, which we'll get
True.
into later. Let's start with AirPods Pro 3. I
Yeah.
think. So obviously we had AirPods Pro 2 for a very long period of time, and they finally introduced the 3, which I don't think anyone was really expecting. Maybe a smaller case, but
I thought you were expecting them.
Well, we were expecting like a slightly smaller case for AirPods.
Okay.
We didn't know whether or not they were actually going to be like redesigned in any given way, but they are actually quite redesigned. I mean, they look mostly the same, but the shape of the bulb is actually quite different.
Yeah.
And the way that it fits in your ear is also different. And, every single year that they go through this whole thing where they say, we measured and scanned 10,000 people's ears. And I'm like, damn, every year people's ears are changing size, apparently. But one of the biggest things probably is that they now have this they have a new ear tip that's a hybrid foam design.
Yeah.
So it has foam on the inside, but it still uses the silicone on the outside,
Yeah.
which is kind of interesting. And obviously that should be helping with sound isolation. They quote 2x better ANC over AirPods Pro 2.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Because AirPods Pro 2 have quite good ANC, I would say.
Yeah. Well,
For earbuds,
I don't know.
I think they're pretty good.
I've been using the Bose a lot, and they're just not really comparable.
Sure.
Yeah, but also I believe, and Ellis can kind of fact check this, but I believe that sound is logarithmic, right? So a 2x increase in ANC, wouldn't that just be 3 dB?
Oh man, here goes our timer's ticking right now.
Well, it's
It's perceived loudness.
Well, they could have meant oh man,
You're doing great, sweetie.
I'm sorry.
if they meant 2 times the frequency bandwidth, ANC is really hard to do on high frequencies. So maybe they meant that you can go twice as high, and there's plenty of ways that could work. But yeah, sound, the way you measure all energy is on a logarithmic scale. So if they meant 2 times as much volume of noise canceling, that would be 3 dB, which
it's something.
It's something.
Yeah.
It's something. I would say it's something that probably 50% of people would be able to notice.
Yeah,
But I don't know if that's what they meant.
Well, they said that they had also increased AI algorithms to know the noise around you and try to cancel that out.
Yeah.
And I had my AirPods Pro 2 with me, and they had demo units of the AirPods Pro 3. It was actually very funny. They walked around with this little
heard about
case
it. Yeah, we heard.
that kind of looked like chocolates.
Like hors d'oeuvre.
Yeah,
past
hors
hors
d'oeuvres.
d'oeuvres.
They do this.
Did
But
you
I
take
guess-
one?
Yeah, I took one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, they do that though so they can clean the ear tips, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
then not
yeah.
everyone's
They swap
sharing
out
them
the
on it.
tips.
But it is funny to think about passing hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah. I had my AirPods Pro 2 with me, and so I was able to do a direct comparison between mine and the 3.
Yeah.
And the 3, I would say the biggest thing was that it was able to actually hear the noise around it and cancel it out much more evenly. Because I put mine in, and the ANC was fighting, trying to understand the noise around me because there's all these voices, and it was so loud, and I was playing music, and it just couldn't cancel everything out clearly. Whereas you put the 3 in, and they've got the different design bulbs, so they sit differently in your ear, and they're tighter in your ear, but everything just kind of goes whoosh,
Yeah.
and it was surprisingly good.
It seems like that's going to be the, we can get into the other features, but the most noticeable thing, the better cancellation plus the better tips should help them fit in your ear better. Plus the angle that they go into your ear is a little bit different.
It's
so
more
all these
into your
things,
canal,
combined should help them sound better, especially with ANC on.
Yeah.
There's a couple other things too.
Yeah.
IP57 for the first time. I kind of actually thought they already had an IP rating, but IP57 for the first time in AirPods Pro 3, and the case is also sweat resistant. So if you sweat a lot, rest assured. And then also a heart rate sensor.
Yeah.
So we just saw this in the Powerbeats Pro. And this is slightly different because the sensor's smaller and the buds themselves are smaller, but same idea, which is if you don't have something else measuring your heart rate and you want to do a workout and measure your heart rate, the earbuds will be your heart rate monitor, which I don't know how accurate that is, but it seems like if you have both a watch and the headphones, it will pick whichever one is most accurate at that time. It doesn't tell you which one you're using, but
I believe it uses both together and then sort of takes a net
probably
average.
some algorithmic magic, yeah.
I also, my kind of theory, and Apple's not doing a ring, so it doesn't fit with just Apple, but I feel like more heart rate sensors in other places are so people can start wearing normal watches again. I think there's a lot of watch fans out there.
Let's go.
Like Adam over there, who want to wear the watch collection, but still want to be able to track certain.
Yeah,
health
just give me a
metrics.
loop thing in a trail loop.
Well, I mean, now if you're running in your headphones, you can still get all your heart
Right.
rate information and wear your normal watch.
Yeah, but if it's anything I think it was the Beats that did this, wasn't it? That had the heart rate sensor in it. People were testing it between the headphones and the watch, and it's I'd rather use the watch. It's not like the Beats were terrible or anything. It's just the watch was more accurate.
Yeah.
Do we know if it's more accurate?
Well, people were wearing chest straps and
okay.
multiple watches and running and using the chest strap as the default and then comparing all of them.
This is the thing, and this is me not really knowing that much about it, but I feel like the watch has so many generations to improve and get more accurate and calibrate. Even though the back of the wrist isn't the best place to measure your heart rate, they've gotten it pretty good over the years, and I suspect that this will also get better over the years. But as of right now, it's just you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
So you it's nice to have it.
Yeah. They have these
So-
2 little windows on the AirPods now that basically shine infrared light like into your like ear area.
Yep.
And it measures 256 times a second to measure light absorption in your blood flow.
I think they've had those forever because the skin detection has been
think that's
optical
what-
since I want to say the first Pros, but
Was it not them that we were testing like what objects inside the office would trick it as skin
yeah.
and the
there were almost no objects in our studio that we could fool it with skin, like even like leather or like other organic materials. There was like a handful of like silicone-y sort of things that we could fool it into thinking was skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But other than that, the optical stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also have increased battery life now. So 8 hours of ANC versus the previous 6. They made a big deal about saying you can now do a transatlantic flight.
Yeah.
So you can fly from New York to California and not have your AirPods tied.
Nope.
Wait, that's not transatlantic.
New York to it sounds like a lot of Apple employees do the New York
cut
to London flight, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just want it to be
Isn't
able
that
to
like
get
5.5 hours?
It's probably a little longer than trans-American flight.
Oh, you're right. Transatlantic, transcontinental.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's nice.
I mean, now 8 hours can do New York to San Francisco.
And back.
What?
What?
no. I wish we got back in 2 hours tomorrow.
I mean,
tonight.
if you wait while you're taking off, and
We don't understand planes on this podcast. How do planes stay up?
Yeah,
Shareholder value. We've established this.
On top of that, it's also 10 hours on a single charge with transparency mode, which
Yeah.
is 4 more than previously.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to everyone on a flight across twice,
Nice.
then you can do
Yeah.
that.
then you got it.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, the price stays the same. So overall, it looks like a pretty solid update. There's also a new live translation feature. It is not an AirPods 3 exclusive.
Yeah.
It is a H2 dependent, but they are claiming to be able to do live translation with
Marques
powered
is
by
looking
Apple Intelligence.
directly at me. He's looking dead into my soul.
Just
right
curious
now.
if anyone has any thoughts about that.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Okay.
It was a really quick demo. It felt
Yeah.
sandwiched between like an IP rating and a silicone tip
What I will
announcement,
say-
which felt really
Yeah.
quick.
As cringy as Google's event was with the Jimmy Fallon experience, blah blah whatever, them doing that live translation demo like for an audience that was there was much more technically challenging than Apple just showing us a video of it working. Because how many times have we seen a demo of an Apple
Still
Intelligence
looking
feature?
dead into my eyes.
No. This is I'm talking about like Apple
Yeah.
doing a video about an Apple Intelligence feature and showing it to us and being like, "See, trust us, it'll work."
Yeah.
Versus a live demo.
Also, the video of it working, Apple really still has not gotten that natural voice down on the like Siri and the translation stuff. Like
Yeah.
Google has this very sort of natural tone and like cadence to the translation features. But when it showed it on the video, the Apple video, it sounded very robotic.
Like Robo Siri. voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes a while. I don't know how they're measuring live because, you know, you finish your sentence, it's like beat, 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 and then it starts talking. And I know that's just waiting for you to finish talking, but if you're having a conversation like that, it's pretty slow paced.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we will definitely try it. This is a first gen. I mean, lots of these live translation things are first gen. We want to see if they work, but it does feel a little bit magical.
I need
when
a
they do
babble
work.
fish directly in my ears so that everything just comes out in English.
Well, new watches as well.
Watches.
Watch Series 11, Watch SE 3,
Yeah.
and Ultra 3.
These are probably the least changed products of the entire
No, they're definitely the least
lineup.
changed of the whole lineup.
The watches never changed that much. I mean, last year we got a thinner watch with the Series 10.
The 10 like looked noticeably different than all
Yeah.
the other ones in
Yeah.
a cool way.
For sure. Yeah, it was much thinner and all that. But like Series 11, it's introducing features that are also coming to the older watches. So it's not that different. The main things on the Series 11 are they made the glass 2x as scratch resistant, just like they do for all the glass every single year.
Nice.
They added 5G connectivity if
Yeah.
you want that for some reason.
Be slightly more efficient than the 4G.
Yeah, probably the biggest upgrade, honestly, is that the battery life is now quoted at 24 hours instead of 18.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, it can last you a full
Even
day.
more all day.
Yeah,
even more all day battery
all day.
all day, exactly all day battery life.
Yeah.
Same price, $399.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, every single product that we're talking about today got a bump up in battery life except for the one that's new. which is the
Well, you
Air.
can't bump something that's new.
Right, I'm
It
just
has to
saying
start.
everything else got better battery, and then they were like, also here's the Air.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Marcus
We'll
is
get
trying
there.
to
We'll
just
get
skip
there.
all of our
No,
notes and
we'll
go
get there.
straight
We'll
to
get
there.
there.
But I am like happy to see good battery stuff.
Yeah, that's
Always.
yeah. So that's most of the stuff in the Series 11. Next thing, Ultra 3. You now get the wide-angle OLED that you got in the Series 10 on the Ultra 3. You now get satellite connectivity if you're out in the Alps and you break your leg.
Bigger display.
Yeah. Okay. So they said
Well-
this. This was confusing. 'cause
Smaller
slightly-
bezels,
Thinner
bigger
bezels.
display.
Yeah.
But the thing is, with the Series 10, they had smaller bezels that made a bigger display, but they quoted the display as being physically larger. But I looked at all the specs, and the display is quoted as being the same size.
It's probably not more than 1/10 of an inch bigger. It's
That's
probably
crazy.
technically slightly larger, but not enough for them to write a different number. But yeah, I mean,
But
it's,
they will still say it's bigger.
yeah, they'll say it's bigger for the keynote, but let's
But
be real, the Ultra 3 is very similar. It actually also has a slight battery bump from a slightly larger physical capacity
Yeah.
battery inside, which again, thumbs up to that. They're rating it 42 hours.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And same price and everything, but yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, SE3 is actually probably the biggest watch update.
Wait, sorry. Can I go back on one thing?
Yes.
Is this difference in satellite connectivity this year that it was only emergency SOS before,
Yes.
and now it's adding things?
Now you
like,
can do like iMessage
messaging,
and Find
which is
My
sick.
and
That's
stuff
cool.
Like that.
I think that
Wait,
is a pretty sweet
I
upgrade.
actually have a satellite iMessage story.
From someone we met yesterday.
No, from my own. From my
Oh.
get this. I have a life. It's sick. But no,
We don't exist
It goes to a
outside of
different
this.
school.
yeah.
It's like seeing your teacher at the grocery store.
Someone very special to me was doing some hiking in
Oh,
sort of like the
thanks.
Kings. Yeah. What they were doing, not Adam, was doing Kings Canyon, hiking Kings Canyon a few weeks ago, and no service anywhere out there in the backcountry. And it was very, very nice to get like a once a day, just like, hey, still alive. This is what we did today, blah, blah, blah. And it was also kind of fun this is going to sound crazy, to have a character limit in your texts again. Like, it
Oh,
really
yeah.
you wanted to like max it out. But because my phone belongs in a retirement home, after she got back to civilization and had service again, my phone would not believe that she was still not on satellite connectivity. And so every time I tried to send a text in just like normal life, I had the 400 or 500 character limit, and it wouldn't let me send pictures. And this is like for a week.
Oh, no.
And the funniest part was every time I would send a text, it would be like, just so you know, this is a satellite text. Like, it's going to go through that whole thing. It would try, the satellite would fail, and then it would just send as a normal
regular.
iMessage.
Yeah.
But if I tried to send a picture, it'd be like, yo, they're on satellite. Like, nothing you can do,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
While we're on the topic of your phone, what's your battery life right now?
Ooh, Price is Right
Also,
rules.
the
Price is
new
Right
satellite
rules.
connectivity, you can do location also, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
On the
Find-
watch.
like Find
Which was
My,
not
yeah.
available previously.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Guys, my phone has my phone has been unplugged for approximately 3 hours. What is my battery life?
45.
45?
47.
47?
48.
48? Damn, got to give me a little more credit than that, guys.
I think I was going to say 55, but
It's 54.
Moving over prices, right?
no, I would have lost. See,
Yeah,
that's
true.
why I did 48.
Nice.
Yeah, you actually did win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The SOS thing is free for the first 2 years.
For the first 2
right?
years, they also extended the emergency SOS from the original Ultra for another year for people. The,
Oh, nice.
The
Okay.
satellite,
Yeah.
satellite emergency.
Do they
stuff.
have pricing on what that's going to be?
No.
No,
Cool.
No.
no.
And I think there's
definitely
no one's at
some
the pay
Apple
yet.
person like kicking that can down the road every
Yeah.
time it comes up to the end of the year. They're like,
Another one.
I don't like the way the headlines look with me like deciding saving your life is worth $29 a month or
Yeah,
something. So
yeah.
I'll just another year free.
Which, on the note of saving your life.
Oh, man.
This montage at the beginning of the Apple Watch segment was the most you're gonna die if you don't have an Apple Watch that Apple's ever done.
I believe they used the phrase guardian angel at some point. Did they not?
I don't know.
I don't
I think
remember.
I was
can look
like,
this up. Hold on.
I was watching the keynote. I was like, they do this every year. They're like, if you have the watch, you won't die. If you don't have the watch, you'll die. And they get a little bit more sappy every year. Oh, I fell. I was in a car crash or whatever. This one was just straight up like,
Yeah.
I had a stroke, and here's the footage. And like
Yeah.
and like all of these
That
like
was
really
crazy.
dramatic stories, which are very compelling, and they make people get the watches, and they do save lives. And one of these features with hypertension, it will save more lives.
Yeah.
But this video was, they were the most leaned in I've ever seen.
But it is a nice departure in tone, because I don't know if you guys remember the cinematic for the first Watch Ultra,
Yeah.
like a few years ago.
Yeah.
Where the message wasn't "this will save your life." It was like, you will die, your bones will be dust, your flesh will be incinerated,
Yeah.
and your Watch Ultra will outlive you.
What was the one where there was like a bear?
inside the
I was just
cabin.
gonna bring that up.
Bear, yeah.
No, it's so funny because
I like
for
that
all of these things, they reenact the situation.
Yeah.
And the bear one was the funniest one, where like a
Yeah.
bear broke into a woman's home and she has to like hide in the other room, and they like
It's like in the
reenacted the whole
refrigerator.
thing.
Like Jurassic Park.
This
It
one was
crazy.
so weird. This one was
Bear
so
park.
weird because they had like the guy had a stroke. He was like doing jumping jacks or something. They just falls on the ground.
Jumping rope. Hey, come on, man.
I
think
think
that
that
was
see Guardian
security.
Angel, by the way.
That was the guardian angel.
No, I do not see Guardian Angel.
They didn't say that?
No, I don't
Okay,
think so.
I'm imagining it.
Get wrecked.
Maybe.
They said something like that.
It was
and I just-
incepted into your brain.
I remember pausing at a certain phrase that they used and being like, wow, they're all in on this.
They use the
particular
sad
angle.
music for hardcore.
Yeah.
Okay, but SE3, probably the biggest update to the Apple Watch, the lineup this year.
Yeah.
Because they basically made it almost as good as the Series 11. There's a chart that shows the differences between it and the Series 11, and it's not a lot of stuff.
It's like the slightly older design,
yeah,
but
very
you
slightly
still
older.
get always on display. It's still an OLED. It does the gesture response now. It has 5G. It has a new system on a chip. I think it's the S9.
It's
I believe
the S10 chip.
S10 now?
Yeah, yeah. It's
And
the
so-
same chip as the Series 11.
24 hours of battery as well. So
Yeah.
functionally, it's going to feel like all of the basics are there. And unless you want the like bleeding edge, brand new design, this is probably the one to get.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's cheap.
Yeah, it doesn't get quite as bright, but it has the stronger glass. It has fast charging now. It has like the double tap and wrist flick stuff.
Gestures, and you can play
Gestures.
media from speakers now.
Yeah, great. Yeah. Who wants that?
I love hearing that when I'm on a nice quiet hike and someone passes me.
Now, when you're on a
Peaking
run
music.
and your music goes, as your arms swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's still $249, right?
Yeah,
The-
$249. It's good. So we weren't correct in that it's plastic because it's not plastic. They're just using the old aluminum design. But
Sure.
yeah, I think
Or I
that's going to
just
be
mean,
big for a lot of people.
Like the slightly less thin.
yeah, you don't get quite as thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one thing we missed on all of these: sleep score.
Oh, right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We have
Right.
sleep
So
score
there are
now.
2 new features that are not specific to the new watches, but that are new. One of them is hypertension detection, possible hypertension detection. It's just looking at
Possible
your heart
hypertension.
information, collecting data in a new way that may be able to alert you if you have signs consistent with hypertension, which is a very popular thing to have. So
I don't know if that's how I would describe it.
comment.
I love
Andrew,
hypertension.
high blood pressure is really in right now.
Yeah, I'm
You're
in.
not
I'm
wrong.
in.
You're not wrong.
My
And-
doctor said too.
But the other thing is so vogue. But the other thing is a sleep score. Yeah, it's fine. It never gave you a sleep score. It would tell you all about your sleep, but never just gave you a sleep score. Now they're going to give you a number 1 through 100, and they'll break it down in like duration, consistency, and one other factor. And you can get a like nice brief overview of like, how did I sleep? Oh, 94. Okay, nice. Like that was a good night. And that's new to the Apple Watch.
I just thought of that. They should add
sleep in
that to the
shambles.
rings and competitions so we could be
Sleep better.
Because because all of us make the competition so toxic.
Can we
that
do
I know we're all
a sleep-
destroying our sleep also.
sleep
If it kept
competition?
better
if it
than
add
y'all.
if it had the slept as a ring, then maybe we
Honestly,
would all be a little healthier.
A sleep ring would probably be better than the freaking standing ring. The standing ring
I think
is the most
standing ring-
annoying ring.
It's annoying, but
Well,
you should stand
The
up for it.
activity
I-
ring, to be clear, is to encourage you while you're awake to have some sort of activity,
Yeah.
like standing and moving around.
Yeah.
When you sleep,
sleep ring.
you just want the best factors for your sleep, the most consistent going to sleep time, and maybe some sort of sleep hygiene, bedtime routine type thing so you get better sleep.
Yeah.
And this may help you think about that more.
Yeah.
I think it should be based on time slept, so I can double the ring.
You have a.
I have a daughter. That's not
going
working.
to happen.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I've been sleeping on her floor lately. That would have a terrible sleep.
Apple is definitely seeing all of the high popularity of all these smart rings and different wearables that people have been getting into recently, like Aura Ring. There's a whole ecosystem developing on smart rings right now.
Yep.
And that was also a reaction to people not wanting to have to wear smartwatches. But I think Apple is like, well, we don't want you to have to, wear a ring. You could just wear the watch. You could just wear the watch.
Yeah. I would really like to not wear a smartwatch all the time.
Hey, join us. Join
But
us.
I do.
Wait, do you want to wear a
But I
watch?
do.
You don't have to.
No, I do. I mean, I would like to close my rings every day, measure all my activity,
that ain't happening.
and know everything about my own health, and get a sleep score, but not have to wear this.
A Whoop on a trail.
You can just always wear AirPods.
How about
Well, a Whoop is basically it's smaller, but it's the same.
Yeah, but it's no
functionally the same
display.
thing.
So
I would like to. I mean, like a ring or something even
Oh.
smaller, where I'm not like this thing is
Is this the birth of Rolly Marquez?
Rolly.
not quite. I mean, I'm still gonna wear it. Like I've worn this thing like every day, but that I do think about that sometimes.
AP Marquez.
The
More of a
move
Seiko
is just
guy.
to like, if you feel bad, do things that make you feel good, and then not worry about that kind of stuff. you know?
Yeah.
is that an a fortune cookie?
I just saying.
It is validating sometimes though to get up and feel like garbage and then look at your sleep score and be like, I knew it.
I will say
No, but it's the opposite. Sorry.
Yeah.
I
No, the
go.
gamification of like the 8 sleep score thing is actually quite fun.
It's
I will
fun,
say.
but it can work the opposite way. I found with like Garmin body batteries sometimes, like I think I slept great, and then it's like 37% to start the day. I was like,
That
no,
makes you
now
feel
now
bad.
now it told me I feel bad, and now I feel bad.
I start feeling bad.
I would
It
want
controls
the, other way
it in the
around.
computer.
That's like the worst possible version. I would want it
Yeah.
where like I get up and I'm like, I think I don't feel that great, and then I see a 95 and I'm like, oh, I'm good.
I need
That
one
would be
that just
nice.
placebos me every day.
Yeah, placebo.
without
Just tell me I got a 95.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Yeah. All right. Well, we should take a quick break. We got way more phones and stuff to talk about because those are the sort of main event. But of course, this is a Waveform podcast, so you already know what happens now. Trivia.
Were you paying attention?
That's right.
Uh-oh.
We're back. You can take the boys out of New Jersey, but they'll always bring trivia.
True.
That's sort of worked. I just want to say, Adam, if I ever read a fortune cookie that began with like, oh no, the move is, I would love that fortune cookie so much. But
The move is
I'll be your
Trivia.
fortune
eat more
cookie,
fortune
Ellis.
cookies.
yeah, big fortune cookie.
I'll just send you a text every day that has a little fortune on it. Ellis.
I kind of like that,
The
actually.
move is
Yeah.
today you need to feel better about
Schedule
yourself.
them like weeks in advance. Okay, guys, were you paying attention? Apple, the place we're at right now, made lots of important updates to many of their products this year, but none were more seismic, earth-shattering than what they did to the trail loop. What did they add to the trail loop
I actually remember
on
this.
Ultra 3?
I will say the were you paying attention is usually the hardest for me at events where I am both taking notes and writing my video outline and live tweeting and taking pictures at the same time.
Sounds like a skill issue.
So I just want to say I'm very proud of myself for actually knowing this one.
I think you saying that out loud, like 9 YC companies just got founded to have an AI companion that does that for you.
well, then it would be everywhere and no one would watch mine. But yes, okay. The answers will be at the end like usual. We'll think about it and we'll be right back. Support for the show comes from Monarch Money. So between 401ks, various investments, and properties, it can be difficult to keep on top of all of your finances. Even when we think of ourselves as financially astute, sometimes an account can slip through the cracks or we can lose track of what we're invested in. Monarch Money can help provide clarity. Monarch Money helps you feel organized and confident in your finances. It's the all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean interface on your laptop or on your phone. And right now, just for our listeners, Monarch is offering 50% off your first year. So if you've been putting off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting, linking all your accounts in minutes and giving you clear data, smart categorization of your spending, and real control over your money. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code WAVE at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code WAVE. Support for Waveform comes from Coda, powered by Grammarly. There are a lot of different teams that come together to make this show happen. They all work hard. It's great to see. But just like at a lot of workplaces, they can feel like everyone is using different platforms, different products, and different tools to try to keep track of all the information and data and projects they're working on. To be honest, sometimes it can get messy. Coda is trying to simplify the lives of work teams. It's an all-in-one collaborative workspace that has helped 50,000 teams all over the world get on the same page. Powered by Grammarly, Coda is entering the new phase of innovation and expansion, aiming to redefine productivity for the AI era. Offering the flexibility of documents with the structure of spreadsheets, Coda facilitates deeper teamwork and quicker creativity. Their turnkey AI solution, the intelligence of Coda Brain, is a game changer. And it seamlessly connects to your hundreds of different tools and favorites like Salesforce, Jira, Asana, and Figma. So head over to coda.io/wave right now and get 6 months of the team plan for startups for free. That's coda.io/wave and get 6 months of the team plan for free. Coda.io/wave. All right, welcome back. Let's talk new iPhones. We get this feeling once per year where they give us all the information. We get to try it for a few hours. We get to digest our thoughts real quick and just sort of dive in and talk about it. And then, of course, the reviews and stuff will be later. But how we feeling? iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Air.
Nope.
Start with-
iPhone Air.
iPhone Air.
Good point.
Whoa.
Not
Yeah.
numbered.
Not.
That was a interesting. They didn't number it.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Air 2 next year, or are they
I've
just never
heard-
going to do it again?
Okay, we'll save Air for later, but I do think that there are some theories about the Air not being refreshed every year
Air
because
2?
they didn't
Yeah.
give it a number. But I think let's just start with the base iPhone and work our way up.
Yes.
Something like that. So, iPhone 17. All of this lineup is the same prices, and we'll talk about that stuff as well. But iPhone 17 is the same base price, the same general design, and is maybe the best. I think I've seen a lot of reviews in the past saying, "Oh, the base iPhone is the one you should buy," and that felt kind of like a cop-out take to me because it's the cheapest one, obviously. But now that they've added ProMotion, and now that it's base 256 gigs,
That was the best thing about
Yeah, the base
this.
storage increases.
I actually feel like I can say that.
I think it's awesome, and it makes me so mad at Google that all their base stuff was 128 that I just bought the Pixel for. Yeah, I was like furious about it, and when I saw them just like base everything here to 256, I was
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
upset.
Is
I
this
mean,
the
happy. but
first non-Pro Apple device to get a Pro moniker feature?
I thought about that for a long time before I said it in the video. I couldn't think of any other example. I
Yeah.
think it is ProMotion.
I really thought that if they were going to bring a version of ProMotion, they were going to name it something different and do like 10 to 120 hertz or 60 to 120 dynamic.
I thought that's what it was gonna be because they first showed that it goes down to 10. And it
Right.
took them a second to show that it goes all the way down to 1 on like always
Yeah.
on display.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, David was right on that. And then I was like, no, this. And then you were like in Slack, this is just normal ProMotion, right? There's no
Yeah.
differences. And I
don't
think
think
that's
so.
confirmed.
Yeah. As far as we can tell, based on everything I said in the keynote, it seems like all of the benefits of ProMotion that were on the Pro phones are now on the base iPhone. We could talk for ages about whether regular people notice or not, and over the years of people defending 60 hertz iPhones, whatever.
What will everyone argue about now?
But me personally, I can't. Every other phone I test all year round is high refresh rate, and the only 60 hertz phone every year is the iPhone. And every year I'm like, gosh, this feels just worse. And I can finally daily and be happy with a smooth experience on a base iPhone because of ProMotion. So I'm very happy about ProMotion on the base iPhone. Maybe I'm overblowing it, but that's me.
Yeah.
So that's cool. It's also a brighter display. I think it's 3,000 nits peak
3,000.
brightness and should generally be more viewable outdoors, which is always welcome. We love seeing huge nits numbers. And then it's a new A19 chip. So 6-core
Yeah.
CPU. I think it's also a 6-core GPU, even though it's less power in those cores in the Pro chip. But yeah, A19 chip, roughly 20% better performance is what they're showing us graphs of on stage. I'm not expecting anything dramatic or crazy, but you like to see, obviously, the new chip. And then slightly faster charging as well. So in general, they didn't talk about the other stuff that they always put in the phones, like camera control and the action button and,
Yeah.
the ultra-wide macros and all that other fun stuff. But it's all there. Like, this is the most complete base iPhone obviously ever.
Yeah, the possibly biggest change that actually got an audience reaction in the crowd that also
Yeah.
comes to the other phones. So we could talk about it now or later.
should do it now,
Might as well
yeah.
talk about it now.
Yeah.
Is center stage on the front camera.
The new selfie cameras
I was gonna say I'm with Adam and I both went. Ellis was like, "Oh, wide angle on selfie camera that automatically detects," and Adam and I were like, "Pixel's had this forever." But then they described it more how it works, and I was like, "Never mind, this is way better."
It's way
Yeah.
cooler.
It, like the more I thought about it, the more I was shooting A-roll with Marques last night and thinking about how like it's square and you can do. I think being able to go landscape while you're still holding it portrait is so much easier as a selfie. And like Marques said, everyone knows where the camera is at that point. When you hold it horizontal, everyone's looking in different directions.
Well, as they
and,
mentioned,
like,
it's better for eye gaze.
Exactly.
Because when
It's-
you're looking at the screen, when the camera's over here, your eyes look weird in the resulting image.
Yeah.
But if you look directly at the screen and the camera is aligned on the horizontal axis with your eyes, then it looks way more normal.
Just looks better.
This was
Yeah.
the perfect example of like Apple does something later, but thinks about it harder and
Yeah.
adds all the like really good features about it and like nails it as it
Yeah.
goes.
When I saw this, immediately I thought everyone should copy this.
Yeah.
Every phone should copy this. This is great. Basically, the concept is it's a larger square sensor. And when you take a regular portrait selfie or a vertical selfie, it uses a vertical 18 megapixel crop of that square sensor. Automatically or manually, but if it detects that there's a bunch of people in the frame and you need to take a wide selfie where you'd normally turn it sideways, it automatically will switch to a horizontal 18 megapixel crop for a normal sideways selfie. And that's great. It worked like magic. You could hit the button if you wanted to, or it would see the number of people in the frame and make a wider selfie for you. Everyone should copy this. I don't see why not. Like, it seems very smooth and intuitive.
Yeah, every couple of years, there's just one little like quality of life improvement that is very small, but actually changes the way that people use their phone a lot.
Yeah,
and
people
I feel like
take selfies.
this is one of those moments,
50
and I think that's
billion,
why
500 billion people, they say.
Damn.
on
500 billion
iPhones.
selfies.
I was going to use that as a trivia question. Thank God I didn't.
Don't I get a point now?
Well, he would have been wrong. Never mind. 500 billion selfies were taken.
Have there even
what I said.
been
You said 500 billion people.
which I think is more people than have ever lived.
Yeah. Either way,
By a lot.
people
They're
take
good.
lots
They're
of
good.
selfies on the iPhone.
well, this got by far the most applause in the entire keynote, which
Yeah.
was
Really?
very kind of surprising, but also honestly, I think it's like one of the coolest features of any of the new phones.
It got no applause really in our hotel room.
Really?
I was
Yeah.
geeking out about it.
Well, and then we
The new
shot you down and then we were wrong.
4/3 camera sensor. It's sick as hell.
Here's what I will say. I take a lot of selfies. Not necessarily as myself taking the selfies, but I'm involved in a lot of selfies.
Because you have, I was talking about this. You and me, long arms. We're always the selfie
No,
holder.
it's because he has 20 million subscribers on YouTube.
No, that's true. I get asked to take the selfie a lot. But what I do have is the unique opportunity to observe lots and lots of reps of how people take selfies. Hey, can I take a picture with you? Sure. They take out the phone. They either, some people have the swipe to open the camera. Some people have like the long press on the corner icon, whatever. I get to see that behavior. Then I see how many people immediately go sideways or how many people go vertical and like frame like from the chest up and like have the two heads in the frame or like try to go wider to get like a little angle or ask me to take it because my arms are longer. Like all of this behavior,
Andrew.
I see
One of
so
three.
many reps of people taking selfies. And I saw this and I saw the crowd reaction and this new feature. And I'm just like, people are going to love this. This is easily the most intuitive, like quality of life, as you said, David. Like this is a great feature in general for this phone. So, yeah, overrated maybe, but I think, as far as people go, people take a lot of selfies.
Better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
camera control.
Better than camera control.
Yeah.
We should talk about camera control for a second because I tweeted this and we had talked about this yesterday. They didn't talk about that at all.
Literally at all.
They didn't say it by name.
Yeah.
And in a lot of the photo demos, they just didn't even use the
They
button.
didn't. They have like in all of the videos and stuff. They just like they would open the camera with like the camera icon, and then they
Yeah.
would have their hand and they would be tapping the screen.
Yeah.
And the camera control is right above
It's
their
right
thumb.
there.
But that's not how people use it.
I know,
They know
but-
that.
Yeah,
I had
but
that
last
thought.
year it was like, or when they introduced, last year they were just like everything was like you swiping on the camera control icon.
Yeah, very deliberately. And it made me think like, obviously there's more functions behind it. There's the visual intelligence and other stuff like that. But I also got like at the back of my head, I got this feeling about like 3D touch when Apple just kind of stopped talking about 3D touch and then suddenly it just kind of disappeared. I got that same feeling. It's only been 2 years. Like it might still exist for a little bit, but I don't know if we feel like that about camera control. Do you guys use camera control?
I use it to open the camera app.
Yeah.
Like it is a faster way because you don't have to like tap on your screen or hold it up to your face to like light it up and then long press the camera button on the front.
Yeah.
So it is a faster way to do that. I don't use any of the other features
Can I
of
ask a
it.
stupid question?
Yeah.
Do iPhones not have double tap to open camera?
They do not.
They
You
do
can do
not.
the action button though.
Oh,
That's a
okay.
Siri.
Yeah.
You can set it as the action.
That's because when you were saying how everyone opens their camera,
Every
I
Android
always
phone?
open double tap.
Double
Like,
tap,
it's the
yeah.
best feature.
Speaking of the action, so I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, well, in the iPhone 15, they added the action button. In the iPhone 16, they added camera control. They've slowly added like a lot of things around the edge of the phone.
I love
Maybe
it.
a Stream Deck soon.
I love
it feels like once they make that foldable iPhone or like any of they're going to eventually have to start getting rid of some of these features.
Well, they put camera control on the Air, right?
Yeah, they all
Yeah,
have camera
That
control.
feels like a lot of work to get that to fit on the Air. For
It's a
them to
really
not
skinny
care
button.
about it that much, though.
Yeah.
So they've obviously still.
It is surprising to
that-
me that they put it on the Air.
I'm surprised by that.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things that is 2 years in development. Like when we saw the 12 mini, Apple probably always knew there was going to be a 13 mini, even as they saw 12 mini sales bombing.
Greatest
Yeah.
phone ever made.
And I think when they went all in with camera control, they probably were already planning the next generations of phones to also have camera control and decided not to remove it. But yeah, it was just not in the presentation at all, which
Yeah.
was interesting.
It was strange.
You know what else wasn't in the presentation?
What?
Siri.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
looked it
It's
up in the
still
transcript.
not-
They didn't say it once.
Apple Intelligence in general.
It was
it-
on the screen at one point, but
Yeah.
Is it Dub Dug
wasn't said.
next year, I guess, that we're eventually getting this?
Here's
Like,
what I
it
will
just-
say, because I can almost like kind of picture what Apple employees would say to me after hearing this, which is a lot of stuff gets cut from the keynote.
Yeah.
Right. It's a 90-minute presentation or whatever. Not everything can make it in. And in the past, I and some of us have complained about them rehashing things that have already existed when they re-present the same feature as if it's brand new. So maybe I'm happy that they didn't re-present Apple Intelligence or Siri or camera control as if we need to hear it again.
Yeah.
But it did feel un-Apple-like for them to not talk about
Well,
it.
maybe they should have cut Apple Intelligence from the WWDC 2024 keynote and never introduced it in the first one.
I don't know how we got all the way back here, but the stabilization on the front-facing
Oh,
video
yeah.
looked really good. The
Yeah.
demo of it, where he was running the sunlight, I think just made the shot look not great in general.
Yeah,
but it was
flare.
really impressive.
Yeah, I
how
mean-
stable that was, and iPhone stabilization seems really
That's
good.
the interesting thing about that front-facing square camera is they're never using the square aspect ratio. They're always using the extra pixels around this part of the sensor they're actually utilizing for different things. So they change the aspect ratio to add more people into the frame, so they make it rectangular. And then the stabilization, they're just cropping into the center and then using that data from the rest of the sensor as like stabilization pixels.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff they can do.
looks
with
really
which is
good.
Nice.
I will say when I watched that demo, that's a really good point because it's all that digital stabilization. But when I watched that demo, I had so many red flags go off in my head about how they could have faked that shot of like had this phone stabilized otherwise and had the actor just hold it like he's pretending.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to test that for myself. That's a specific thing where I watched the demo and I was like, I want to test that for
I
myself.
think it'll be pretty good.
I think it'll be the first video you and I ever made before I worked for you was Mac with a GoPro, and you shot a bunch of it on an iPhone, and you kept going, the stabilization on this is great, and that was like iPhone
Totally.
7 or something like
But
that.
those are the back sensors, which
True,
include
that's-
optical stabilization.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if they
Well,
can do that
It's
good
also
of a job.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, action mode does the same thing. Like action mode, which they introduced like 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago on
Maybe
iPhone
more.
14 or something like that. That also like crops into the sensor, and
Pretty
that's why it's
dramatically.
like pretty dramatically. It's much less sharp, but the stabilization is very very good. Last thing on this one, they also added a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera, which means the entire lineup of iPhones all have all ultra-wide cameras on the back. There is not a single lens on the back of any of the iPhones anymore that is not 48 megapixels.
Which is nice.
Which is nice because it allows them to do all this different sort of crop in stuff. They're all fusion cameras. They're all that stuff.
And now, so when Nothing tries to fake comparison videos, they can't use the 12 megapixel ultra wide and say that theirs is better and lie to everyone.
Yeah, it also has Ceramic Shield 2 now, which we were talking about this morning over breakfast. The last time they called it the new ceramic shield.
Next generation.
Next
I was talking to
generation
Brad
ceramic
from
shield.
Mobile Syrup, and he was saying that like he specifically asked someone that they thought the reason for naming it Ceramic Shield 2 this time was because it was a big enough upgrade, even though they have upgraded it in the past. It was
2x
just still-
better.
yeah.
Always 2x better. Also, the colors are incredible.
Yep.
Specifically the Sage. I'm a Sage
Incredible?
fan.
Incredible's
Have
a
you
strong
seen
word.
the green?
Yeah, but it's not sage.
I have.
Yeah,
It's weird. I've seen some other videos now where that did look more sage, but I
it
feel
looks
like when we
darker
saw it
in real
on-
life than it does on.
Yeah, when we saw it on the, I don't know what was going on. It felt very bright, but I've seen some clips now of people shooting video, and it looks like sage on a phone.
It is definitely a darker than on the
Okay.
website. One of my friends messaged me yesterday and was like, "Your boots are on the ground. Do you think the iPhone 17 is the? Should I get that over the 16?
Is that the move?
Because it's the move." Ellis, the move is.
Fortune cookie says.
Fortune cookie says.
Well, what's the answer, David?
Well, what he generally does is usually when a new tech product comes out, he buys the last year's generation for like much cheaper. Nice. But the thing is, Apple is selling this iPhone 16 for only $100 less than this, and that's at a lower base storage,
Yeah.
right? So like it's almost like they're the same price.
Yeah.
If you account for the storage, but you're also getting the better front facing camera, the ceramic shield too, the better rear camera, the 120 hertz. I mean,
Brightness.
Battery life.
I would not.
brightness,
I would not
everything is
spend
better.
that much on a 60 hertz phone.
No,
You literally no longer can justify it. As long as there was a 60 hertz new iPhone that existed, people could always justify it. Now
Yeah.
that doesn't exist anymore, I can't. Just get the
What?
just
Yeah.
get promotion.
One of the questions we asked people at the event yesterday was, do you think people outside the tech community can tell the difference between 60 and 120 hertz?
Yeah.
And I feel like we got a resounding no way.
I think
Really?
people can tell the difference if you ask them if they can tell the
Yeah,
difference.
I
It's more
have-
like people don't care.
I have thoughts on. I think it would be hard for people to articulate what they're seeing, but I do think that people would notice a difference, especially when you tell them to look for a difference.
One interesting thing that we heard yesterday was a guy saying that on his mom's Z Flip 7, I think, maybe 6, maybe 5.
I think it was Fold because he said he upgrades every Fold, and I'm
No, it
assuming
was his mom's, not his.
I assumed he
sure it
gave
wasn't
his
his
mom
cousin?
his previous.
No, his mom
model.
had the flip, I thought.
Okay.
No, but his
Anyway.
grandpa. Used,
up, Andrew. No, but he was saying he turned it off on his mom's phone, and the only thing his mom noticed was that the battery life got better.
She doesn't notice that it's 60 hertz.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the battery life get better if you had dynamic, like down to 1 hertz?
Well, you're never scrolling at.
I think it
like,
just
one
caps.
hertz,
I think it's up to 60 or up to 120.
Right. Oh, I see.
But it is a Samsung, not a.
yeah.
Not an iPhone.
Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably an age range where people stop noticing. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's
I definitely noticed.
I have theories on it. I just find it hard to not notice. Maybe I'm
of
too
course.
dialed. I'm too dialed.
It's just wild to me that Apple is even still selling the iPhone 16. Like, it makes no sense.
Dude, teal.
Yeah, that's true.
Got him.
Well,
Hey, so 17, it's out there. It's the same starting price as last year. I think it's a really good overall upgrade to the base phone.
You know, for $256, the Pixel 10 is more expensive.
No.
That's crazy.
Yep.
that's
Wow,
crazy.
Pixel 10.
I'm so mad at you.
Wow,
mad
because
at it.
I've been thinking like, I mean, the Pixel 10 has 3 cameras, but like the Pixel 10 is a
true.
good deal, and so we kind of have to. We're forced to think of the iPhone 17 as a good deal, also.
You do get an
The iPhone 17 is I think it's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, should we go to the
Professional.
pros?
Let's go
Yeah.
pros.
The pros. Okay, perfect. I think I'm gonna be a pro person. I'm definitely gonna be a pro.
What?
17 Pro and 17 Pro Max. These phones are. I'm thinking about already what my title of the review is going to be, and the word maximalist keeps coming to my head. Things got bigger, they got thicker, they're overdoing parts of it, and I love it.
You know how
great.
there were all those rumors of like the iPhone 17 Ultra and how it was going to be ultra rugged and it was sort of like the Apple Watch Ultra.
yeah.
This to me, like the design of this almost feels like an iPhone Ultra.
Maybe the most they've ever done.
Yeah.
I think
agree
when
with
you
you.
compare it,
It feels sporty.
I think also the orange with the Ultra, it feels like the Ultra Watch
Oh, sure.
accents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of connected.
It feels kind of sporty. It's like tough and like
And
rugged.
body.
It almost feels like an OtterBox case.
yeah, in its shape. I would
in
say
its shape.
when I compare it to other Ultra phones that exist, it still does not feel like an Ultra phone.
No.
It doesn't have
More
a
like an
second
adventure
telephoto or super fast charging or a big 6,000 milliamp hour silicon carbon battery or whatever. But this is the most maximal I've ever seen an iPhone, and I like that about it. So, what's new? First of all, they've gone back to aluminum. It was titanium, it was stainless steel, and it used to be aluminum back in the day. They're back to aluminum because they're doing this. Honestly, I actually kind of like it. A lot of phones in the past have been like the aluminum frame and then glass front back.
Yeah.
This is an aluminum unibody iPhone with a glass cutout.
Yeah.
And then a glass front.
It took me so long to realize that that was the cutout of the unibody. I
Yeah.
thought it was just kind of like a design change on the back, and then I was like, oh no, the rest of that is the
They
body.
just do
that
that
is
so they
just
can have the
literally
wireless charge.
Yeah. It kind of, but I think that's nice. Instead of
love it.
being a glass phone with aluminum rails, it is a metal phone.
Yeah.
So I didn't think too hard about the weight when I was holding it. It's heavy. It's a
Yeah.
big maximalist phone. But yes, this is an all metal unibody aluminum phone now
Right.
with glass cutouts, and it's kind of part of the design. They've kind of embraced that like two-tone
The
thing.
plateau.
I love the design.
And then the top is the plateau.
The plateau.
The plateau. Okay, so they named it. They called it a plateau, but basically that top bar with the cameras and the flash and the microphone and the LiDAR is still there, I think, too.
Yeah, yeah.
And the microphone and all that it's got this big bar at the top of the phone that also has a glass cutout. And so it houses the cameras, obviously, but there are also more components that they've kind of pushed up into the top
Yeah.
of the phone
Yeah.
in order to maximize the battery in the bottom part of the phone.
Yeah.
Which I like that too.
Right.
I think that's great. They've also they've sort of reshuffled the A19 Pro chip that it has now closer to the middle of the phone, where they've placed a first time ever vapor chamber in the iPhone. And so now they've had this whole section of the keynote about how much better thermals are going to be and how much better cooling is going to be and how much, I think 40% better sustained performance. So basically don't expect this to thermally throttle because the vapor chamber and the dissipation from the aluminum unibody frame will all be way better than previous iPhones. I tend to believe that. And that's exciting to see, especially if you game or if you're going to do like long-term. Well, okay. You brought up a thing that I actually thought about, which might not actually have a difference, which is shooting videos.
I'm interested in that.
So this is the vapor chamber and the heat dissipation from the system is going to be great for heat that comes from the system.
Yeah.
So if I'm recording videos in here, or if I'm gaming in here, or rendering a video in here, that will spike the temperature of the system and eventually throttle. And it'll take longer because of the better thermal properties. But when we go outside and record videos, it's just
External
hot
radiation.
outside.
Yeah.
And that's just going to heat it up
From the outside.
from the outside anyway.
Which is different. Yeah.
And so I think we're still, when we go out and it's like, oh, the screen's dim and it's like going to overheat and it's like, it's just because it's hot out and like all cameras overheat when it's hot outside. I think that's still going to be true.
Yeah, it's stuff for like if you're playing games and the chipset is getting hot, it moves the heat around and it keeps it cooler. But if you're just getting hit from the sun, like there's no way for the system to like keep the phone cool.
Maybe the
that point.
orange will reflect the sun.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's also
You know how
the
they say
dissipation.
opposites attract, but same like orange. The sun is orange and this is orange, so they'll repel. That's like science.
Don't do that. God, I guess while we're on the topic of the colors, the aluminum is either going to be orange, silver, or deep blue. You might have noticed that I didn't say black or space gray or any neutral dark. That's very upsetting to me. I just want to
weird.
put it out there.
And I took that personally.
And I took that
It is wild because black is the most popular phone color by far.
You mean blue?
No. By a large
Orange.
margin. And
Yeah.
the fact that Apple decided to go, you know what? Not only are we not going to do the most popular phone color ever, we're going to use the most polarizing color ever and make
Bright
it
orange.
bright orange.
Yeah.
Is wild.
So yeah,
love
those
it.
are the options. I guess I'm gonna have to go dark blue. I don't know if I have a choice.
Can we get an orange check here? We asked everybody
Okay.
this yesterday.
By the way, you have to see it in person.
cosmic orange?
I saw it in person.
I
And then
haven't.
you told me this
and I'm
morning
a
that you don't
believer.
like it anymore.
Exactly. That's where I stand on it.
So say that out loud.
I do not like it anymore.
I won't
Thank
change
you.
my mind. I haven't seen it in person. I think this is the most I've ever been compelled to buy an iPhone.
Brandon,
in my
because
life.
of
me
orange?
The
silver.
design is part of that reason.
Silver's
I
fine.
think
Yeah.
the new design, unibody, camera bump, cutout, and orange all together is my favorite iPhone I've ever seen.
So Andrew's in on orange. David's
This is
out
coming
on
from
orange.
someone who's
I'm
literally
out-
never used an iPhone.
I'm
before.
out on orange. I thought it was going to be interesting, and I saw it in person, and I just think it's too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam's out on orange.
Silver
out.
looks amazing
Silver's
in
the
person,
one.
and silver is the raw aluminum color.
Right.
So when you chip it, it's not going to look different underneath the color. Whereas
that's good.
You're anodizing all the other colors so you can paint
Patina.
them.
Do you see the back of my laptop right now? It's character.
Ellis, are you out on or in on orange?
Dude, I have flip-flopped so many times.
I'm with you.
Since seeing this phone. Like the pictures, I love the color orange. It's one of my favorite colors.
Sure.
So I was like, orange iPhone. I was ready to put my credit card down as soon as the rumors came out. And then I saw the renders and I was like, yes. And then I saw one in person yesterday and I was like,
This is what I'm saying. This is
but
what
then,
I'm saying.
but then I saw
Where'd you
more
guys-
pictures and I was like, ooh.
It is good in video too, I will say.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
You know, I shot a lot of video of it, and I think I liked it on camera more than I liked it in my own hands. It was a little more
agree.
saturated, a little more bright than the like pumpkin Patagonia orange that I think we thought it would be,
Which is what I wanted.
which is what I think a lot of people like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm also on the fence. I do think I was kind of likening it to. There's been other like bright red phones in the past where I'm like, that seems like a shirt I would wear once and feel really cool in, but I don't want to wear it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go dark blue. Just
I think
because
the
of that.
silver is like
But I don't mind the silver. I
Silver's
just
nice.
can't. I shoot so much videos of like reflective things. I can't have a light camera,
that's fair.
so I can't use the silver. The
very,
silver, the
very
glass cutouts are white,
Yeah,
and that's just a bright phone for me.
that is true.
So I'm
Just
going.
put a skin on it.
Honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna debrand it dark.
Yeah.
just black.
Did you see the Spigen case? It's a clear case where the glass part is white.
Yeah.
That on the orange, the dreamsicle iPhone.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna go hard.
Actually, yeah, that's not a bad. Yeah, that's a good
That's
point.
nice.
Okay.
Well, yeah, so that's the colors. And, you know, I think the new design in general has a lot of us liking it, but the colors may be a little bit polarizing. But there's some other stuff that's new. Let's see, the Pro. So
Yeah.
the batteries are larger and they're quoting longer battery life. Hard to get a sense of how much longer. We're going to have to test these phones. But if you go by the hours of video playback number that they give,
It's so funny that we're still doing that, by the way, because video decoding is like the easiest thing to do now,
Yeah.
even though it used to be the hardest thing.
You
to
and
do.
I know that it's a silly number, but it's the number they keep giving, so it's what we have to go with as far as quotes because they don't give milliamp hours. But they're going 39 hours on the 17 Pro
Max.
versus 33 from the 16 Pro Max. So
17.
What?
No, the
from
sev-
the 16 Pro Max.
39.
So the 16 Pro Max last year they were quoting 33 hours of video playback.
Oh, okay.
Now they're going up to a max of 39. So maybe like 8 to 10% more battery.
I've been living in the dark ages for so long that number like hurts my head.
I mean, don't watch 30 hours of video in a row. Don't do that.
No, you can't make it 30 minutes of video.
I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know that that's a different world from the 12 mini. But yeah, more battery, which is great.
I mean, considering the regular 17 Pro is now quoted at 33 hours, where the 16 Pro Max used to be 33 hours, like that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
That's pretty nice.
pretty good.
The phones are a little thicker. And if I'm remembering feeling them in my hand correctly, a little bit heavier too. Maybe I'm imagining that. But they are more maximal, so I wouldn't be
More
shocked.
metal.
It's also
They said they
aluminum.
were-
It's more
Aluminum
metal.
is heavier than
Aluminum is
titanium,
heavier
isn't
than
it?
titanium, but it's aluminum unibody. No, titanium is lighter. Titanium's
Is
lighter.
it?
Yeah.
But there's more metal versus
There's more
glass.
metal
I
because
see.
the previous one it was just the frame
Yeah.
with more glass, and then this time it's the whole unibody except for the cutout.
Yeah.
So,
So I do
sense.
think it's a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
Titanium. Wait, hold on. That's an AI overview. Gotta find. Let me find a source. But I think titanium is heavier.
No,
I
titanium's lighter.
vaguely remember when we had aluminum phones, they went to stainless steel, and it was like, this is polished and pretty, but it's heavier. And then they went to titanium, and
Yeah.
they said this is lighter than stainless steel.
Yeah, the whole,
but not
stainless
necessarily lighter
steel.
than aluminum.
Oh, I see.
Got you. I might.
So
be
I
wrong
don't
on that.
remember versus aluminum. Either way,
Okay.
chunky phone, right? It's still got the triple cameras. These are all bigger cameras. And yes, it's now a 48 megapixel 4X telephoto
Yeah.
camera instead of 5X. I think this works really nicely. We had 5X before on a 12X 12 megapixel. God, I'm saying a lot of numbers. We had a 5X 12 megapixel telephoto before. That gap between 1X and 5X was kind of far, but you could work with it. And then you got to the zoom and you could get crisper photos at 5X again. But now that gap is smaller because it's only 4X and it's a higher resolution. So you can then continue to zoom further and
Now
have
they have an
more
8x
pixels.
range, quote unquote.
Yeah.
yeah, because now they're all fusion cameras, so you can crop into the center on each of them. It is kind of nice just to have like this linear progression where it's 0.5, 1, 2, 4, 8. So
kinda
it's
nice.
doubling every time, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So better zoom performance. And then ceramic shield too on the front and the back.
And the
which
back,
is nice.
yeah.
That millimeter wave antenna at the top of the phone was an interesting choice.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
It's a look.
So on the iPhone 16 Pro, they were able to move the millimeter wave cutout, which used to be just little glass window that allowed the 5G to come through. They were able to move it into the antenna bands, and then this year they didn't really show this in the keynote at all, but you
Not at
see it
all.
in person.
Yeah.
The very top of the phone, there's a giant millimeter wave window, and it does not look great.
It's funny too because they added more space for antennas with the plateau.
Yeah.
But then had to re-add
Because the edge
millimeter
of
wave
the
cutout.
plateau is an antenna.
Is an
too,
antenna.
as
It's literally
well.
an antenna.
It's
yeah.
so weird that they need to do
Yeah.
that. I don't know why.
It's just like a more contrasty looking iPhone. It's like a two-tone iPhone. It's like the metal and then the cutout at the top and the cutout at the plateau and then the cutout for the charging. It's just different looking.
I love it.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, ceramic shield 2 on the front and the back. And you get that new selfie camera and then some genuinely pro features. ProRes RAW video recording. I will test that for sure.
Yeah.
The only other ProRes RAW camera that I have is our Red V Raptor.
That's crazy.
Just to put that in perspective.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a
How
Kodak.
much is that camera?
It's not even about price. It's just about like demographic. It's about demographic. Like nobody shoots ProRes RAW, but then
yeah.
every time you listen to Apple, they're like, shoot ProRes RAW. You get the raw malleability of the footage, but obviously it's smaller.
Do you think that's why it starts at 256?
I
No,
don't.
because you can only shoot
Maybe.
ProRes RAW with an external drive, right?
I didn't hear that.
Well, that's the way the 16 Pro was, right?
Pro-
someone
16
back me
Pro?
up on
I,
this.
I think
no, I'm right.
no,
about
I think
this.
16 Pro. It was not with extra. It was like on the 128 gigabyte model. You were not able to
Yeah,
shoot
I think,
ProRes.
I think it was a storage.
They
thing.
basically like you had to buy the 256 or higher model to even shoot ProRes on the 16
Yeah.
Pro.
Am I hallucinating right now? I swear this was a thing that you could only shoot
I think your
ProRes RAW on
12
the
mini
iPhone.
could do it.
It makes me
Bro.
sort of feel like the reason they made the base storage higher is so that they didn't have to have that weird artificial limitation anymore. Because it used to be that you literally could not use one of the features if you bought one of the lower storage phones, which was a very weird thing for Apple to do.
I appreciate the more storage.
Yeah.
ProRes RAW will take more storage than
a
ProRes.
lot more, yeah.
Also, Genlock sync
Genlock!
support.
Yeah.
Which
Dude,
is
me and Rufus went nuts in
it's
Slack. when I
it's
got
so
those.
funny. I was sitting in the theater later and talking to a journalist who was like, "So Genlock, like, is anybody going to use that?" And I was like, "Honestly, probably not." But
No. So did you
for
see,
us?
dude? Think about the movie that just came out 28
Yeah,
years
20
later,
years later.
with that crazy iPhone
Yeah,
rig,
the rig.
the mobile rig. That without Genlock versus that with Genlock is
Yeah.
like possibly hundreds of hours
Yeah.
of work
Well,
saved.
someone online was saying that they probably developed this for that movie. So that they could like use that rig,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "Well, we have this now."
For those that don't know, Genlock is sort of like a shared time, like
It's time code.
so when
type
you
thing.
like when you share time code between a bunch of cameras, it syncs the start time of the video file, but it doesn't actually sync the internal clocks of the camera. It just makes sure they all start at the same time. Genlock actually sends out a pulse that tells each camera frame, so that every camera is
in
taking a
sync
frame at the same.
consistently.
Are we doing Genlock in the studio right now?
No, I don't think
probably
so.
not, because we're shooting on 16 Pros. But in a situation like this, it could potentially be pretty useful.
This is like the situation.
yeah.
It also
So-
is, I believe, right now only available through a Blackmagic
Yeah.
thing. But he did say
Adapter.
there is an API available, so it sounds like there could be other third-party adapters
Yeah.
that would help
Which is nice.
support it.
yeah,
So overall, iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max feel like I said, not quite at the level of like maxed out hardware ultra phones that we've seen, but the most maximalist iPhones that we've ever seen. And I like them.
There was one other small thing that I thought was kind of interesting that we'll never really get to see a difference in, but it was that the North American versions are eSIM only. And they specifically mentioned using that SIM card space for more battery.
Yeah.
Which means there will be two different iPhone
With
17
different
Pros
batteries.
with different battery sizes
Yeah.
based on what region you're in.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of them
Have
is
they ever
all
done
day,
that
and
before?
one of them is slightly more all day.
even
Yeah.
more all day.
I
I wonder what the numbers on that are. I want to know how much
Yeah, I guess we'll
milliamp
see.
hours are in a SIM card tray space.
I think this is something
So
we can
specific.
figure out. So whoever's watching this podcast, if you can find the milliamp hour number difference between an iPhone 17 Pro in an eSIM region and an iPhone 17 Pro in a regular SIM region, then we'll know exactly how much more battery they saved and are giving us by not having a regular SIM card in our phones.
Yeah.
So there you go.
58 milliamp hours.
30 is my guess.
I'm gonna
30
go
milliamp
with
hours.
I'm gonna go with 50.
I think they are going to add the entire battery life of my 12 mini.
I think that's
12.
probably exactly what it
12
looked like.
milliamp hours. All right.
Okay.
Well, I think we're going to talk about the iPhone Air, not 17 Air, notably.
Yeah.
For quite a while. So before we do that, we should probably do our second trivia segment.
But it's not
Trivia.
just regular trivia.
Were you paying attention?
Part two.
That's right.
I was. I'm so ready.
You just said you weren't paying attention before.
I got lucky, and now I feel like I'm on a roll. So keep
All
it
right,
going.
second question. They
'em,
showed
Adam.
off 2 new watch faces
Hit 'em.
for the Apple Watch Series 11.
I'm not getting this.
One was called Flow, which had liquid glass numerals.
That's the only one I
The
remember.
other was a, quote, modern interpretation of a traditional regulator clock, end quote.
Oh, yeah.
What was that one called?
Yeah, I don't know.
Of a what?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I Googled traditional regulator clock, and I just got a bunch of pictures of clocks.
What is a
So-
regulator clock?
Well, guys, there's an article on Wood Magazine, which is a hilarious title, called "What is a Regulator Clock?" And I will read this
Just pictures of you all
and
over
get
that
back.
magazine.
What if it was a magazine about things that could possibly happen, and it was spelled WOULD magazine? Anyway,
Never mind.
we'll be right
Yeah.
back.
Support for this show comes from LinkedIn. When you're a small business owner, your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that works just as hard as you do. And that hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. When you clock out, LinkedIn clocks in. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. And LinkedIn's new features can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people with deep candidate insights. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. And at the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of the candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you are getting the best. Based on LinkedIn data, 72% of SMBs using LinkedIn say that it helps them find high quality candidates. So find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/mkbhd. That's linkedin.com/mkbhd to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Support for this show comes from Grammarly. Does your workday ever feel like it's pulling you in every direction at once? You start replying to an email, and then you get a phone call, and then suddenly you realize one task you needed to finish is still untouched? Grammarly can help. Grammarly is the AI communication assistant designed to supercharge your productivity, helping you get more done faster, no matter what you're working on or what you're writing. And with Grammarly, you can quickly generate polished drafts with AI. And its tools work alongside you, suggesting better phrasing and fine-tuning your tone and even tailoring your writing for your audience and its context. So it always sounds like you and not a robot. Plus, it works across more than 500,000 apps and websites, so you can use it wherever you do your writing. 90% of professionals say Grammarly has saved them time writing and editing their work, so it might be time to check out what it can do for you. Let Grammarly take your busy work off your plate so you can focus on high-impact work. Download Grammarly at grammarly.com/podcast. That's grammarly.com/podcast. All right, we're back. We got to talk about this iPhone 17 Air. This is
Just iPhone
I
Air.
keep
iPhone-
doing that.
iPhone
I
Air.
keep doing that.
iPhone
We
Air.
got to talk about the iPhone Air. So that's the first thing. iPhone Air is new to the lineup. It is, I guess, not an iPhone 17. It's an iPhone Air. It's part of the lineup of new phones.
In
And
your
it's,
defense, in the doc, it does say 17 Air.
it does.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, they said iPhone Air on stage, and I remember writing that in my tweet, and being careful not to say 17 because they didn't say 17. But it's in the middle of the lineup. It's the $1,000 phone. It's replacing the Plus.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more expensive than the base iPhones. It's less expensive than the Pro iPhones. They took some stuff from the Pro iPhones that I didn't expect them to,
Yeah.
which was interesting because we heard about this ultra-thin phone. And then they also took some stuff from the base iPhones. So the basic idea, if you haven't already seen, is it's a crazy razor-thin iPhone.
Yeah.
To be precise, 5.6 millimeters.
Thinner
At the
than the
thinnest.
S25 Edge.
Notably, probably important to them, they are the thinner one.
Yeah.
Of course, there is also still that plateau at the top. This phone reminds me more than ever of the Nexus 6P. But it's a single camera, the 48 megapixel fusion camera. And then it's just thin buttons, thin camera control, thin action button. The port at the bottom, there's no speakers at the bottom of the phone.
Yeah, that's strange.
I saw this
there's
because
none
I
at the
posted.
bottom?
Yeah, I put my short out and I was like, wow, these speaker holes at the bottom are really small. And then all the comments were like, I checked Apple's website. There's actually no speakers at the bottom. That's just the microphone holes. It's just a single speaker at the top.
Wait, is
In
it
the plateau.
mono?
It's a it's not mono, but it's
No,
not.
that-
well, I guess technically it is mono. It's
There's
a
only
single
one
speaker at
driver.
the top.
Is it two drivers inside one?
It's probably two
Is it behind
drivers
the
at the
screen?
top. But it's
Mono?
usually
It's
the
in the
earpiece
plateau. I
speaker.
don't know where it comes
Just
from.
in the plateau.
Oh yeah, the earpiece speaker, and they could do
Yeah.
it in stereo. In a
Yeah,
weird-
most phones have speaker at the top of the phone, speaker at the bottom of the phone. This one is so thin and is so focused on just filling it up with battery that they have not put a speaker at the bottom of the phone. They have also not put a SIM card tray at the bottom of the phone. It's eSIM only globally. They have also not put an ultra wide, obviously, or a telephoto camera. It's just a single camera. And it is Ceramic Shield 2 front and back, and it's a titanium frame.
Yeah.
They chose to put the A19 Pro in this phone, minus one GPU core.
Yeah.
But the A19 Pro chip, and we were chatting about this, it seems like that's a more potentially efficient chip overall.
That's what was very funny is like, I was worried. I was like, why would they put this more intense chip in this phone? But then they were like, and it gets even better battery life.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does the Pro chip get better battery life?
So it's, I think almost every choice about the hardware of this phone paradoxically is to maximize battery life.
Yeah, every single
Because it is
thing.
so thin that the only thing that they can optimize for is just whatever they can do, just put more battery in this phone. And we'll talk about battery in a second, but USB 2 instead of USB 3?
Yeah, it's a slower
Slower
standard.
bus?
So
Okay.
if you want to move files from it, but obviously you're probably not going to be shooting because it doesn't. You're not even allowed to shoot ProRes RAW or any of that stuff on this phone.
Yeah.
So
It's a 6.5-inch screen up front, so it is a little bigger than the smallest iPhone, and it is a ProMotion display, which again, that's great. It's going to have all the way down to 1 hertz. That's efficient, always on, great. And yeah, it's not going to have the vapor chamber or any of the thermal improvements that the Pro had. So the behavior of the chip is going to be interesting to watch when we test it, because it may be more efficient at the low end, but when you do try to do bursty or like longer sustained performance stuff, is it going to overheat instantly in throttle?
Yeah.
Is it going to get really hot because there's no vapor chamber? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
They tried to miniaturize basically everything. They made a new version of the C1 modem. The C1 modem, and they said this specifically in the keynote. They were like, we only released the C1 modem 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and now
16E.
we've got the
Already.
C1X.
Yeah.
So in the iPhone 16e, we saw that custom C1 modem.
Yes.
Right? Because they wanted to move away from Qualcomm, all this stuff. And now they said this in the keynote. It was only 6 months ago that we introduced the C1 modem. Now we're introducing the C1X modem, which they say is 2 times faster than the C1 modem. I do not know what that means when it comes to a modem.
That seems crazy.
But it's apparently also 30% more battery efficient.
Yeah.
And as we said, everything is about battery efficiency.
And this was part of the whole N1 chip package for all of their network connectivity.
So there's the N1 chip, which does Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread radios all in one chip as well.
Yeah.
Which is,
So I think the idea behind all of this is to just be maximally efficient. It's the same idea as like when we had Intel chips versus Apple Silicon in these laptops, and they got much better battery life and efficiency because they were dialed for what they wanted to do with them instead of off the shelf. Same thing. If you're going to gear this thing towards paradoxically maximum battery life, then that makes sense for this phone.
And they put almost everything in the plateau area of this phone.
Yeah.
Like they put as much battery as they could physically fit in the bottom half of the phone.
Yeah.
It was both cameras, front and back, speaker, chip. It's just like literally that's what the plateau is
Yeah,
for.
like
It's
most
just
of
to
the
shove
stuff is
everything
in the plateau.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are making jokes that the next iPhone, the next Nano device is just going to be the plateau.
With the big camera.
Honestly,
That would look like Sully from Monsters
kinda-
Inc.
yeah.
That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah. So, you're not getting macro camera, spatial. You can't do spatial photos because it needs at least 2 cameras. So
Yeah.
you can't do any of that. You're not getting ProRAW, no cinematic mode, no spatial video, no ProRes video, no Academy color grading or encoding, no Apple Log 2, no Genlock, no macro video, no studio quality 4 microarray, no millimeter wave. Oh no.
But it's 5.6 millimeters thin.
This is this is the whole thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're giving up so much for something that feels, yes, it does feel amazing and shocking.
Yeah.
But I just wonder how long is it going to take for that veneer to wear off and for you to be like, but what about all the features and the fact that this has probably horrible battery life?
Yeah. I will say that testing and using S25 Edge, I had a similar arc of feelings and thoughts, which was, okay, we see the videos. Oh, it looks really cool and thin, but like nobody's asking for this. What are we doing here? Oh, you'll probably sell a few. The ad's really cool and snazzy, but like whatever. And then I hold it and I go, damn. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's like kind of nice. I kind of want to use this
video.
phone. And it looks cool on video and you can tell it's thin, but it's thin and light. So the combo of like holding this like I don't know, it's a crazy piece of hardware in your hand and it has a ProMotion display on the front and it's a totally smooth like usable iPhone and you're like, dang, this is kind of impressive. I went through that also. And then but like logically it is a worse phone and the only way to justify buying the Edge is to really like the fact that it's so thin and light. That is the only thing that will make you buy it over the other phones. So how much do you really want or are impressed by that?
Yeah.
Is the question.
Yeah.
It is, the brighter screen, titanium, all that fun stuff. It looks fine. I
This
think.
phone was invented to miniaturize the parts so that it's one half of the iPhone Fold.
Okay, yeah, so this is my...
That's what this is.
I kind of like started this thought in the impressions video, and I'll probably have to try to finish it in the review. But I kind of feel like you can only see this phone one of two ways. Way number one is Apple is just trying it, and they tried the mini thing. Like Ella's bought one, but who else like has not a lot of sales, right? So then they moved to the Plus. They're like, oh, people like big screens. We'll do the Plus phones. And then they had the Plus phones for a little bit, and those were okay sales, but not really killing it. So
that
then
was the
they go,
worst selling one.
yeah, it didn't hit. And so now they're like, oh, what if we do ultra thin? And so they go through the process of miniaturizing and the N1 chip and all this fun stuff. And so now they're just throwing something at the wall and seeing if it sticks. That's one way you could see it. The other way you could see it is Apple has been dreaming of this for years, and this is a long time in the making. And this is the first step towards every phone being this thin. They just needed to get the right combination of parts and Apple Silicon and battery technology and hardware and displays and everything to finally make this a real phone. And in the same way that like the first MacBook Air kind of sucked and was underpowered, but then now every laptop is that thin and it's totally fine, that's also going to happen with smartphones. This iPhone Air is a little underpowered. It might overheat. It has a really weak battery. But when they finally get like silicon carbon and like Apple Silicon gets even more efficient and all this stuff, it's going to be like a totally normal iPhone and we'll all have phones like this everywhere.
Yeah, it's interesting because they made a new MagSafe battery that is very thin profile. And
Which I want.
only works with the Air, but it actually...
Designed for the Air, but
It's designed for the Air. It doesn't only work
Yeah.
for the Air with the
Yeah.
Air. You could put it on another phone, but you would have to put it sideways because of the way.
Oh, how tall it is because the plateau
Yeah.
is so tall up.
Yes.
I didn't even think
it's
of that.
higher up.
Wait,
Yeah,
can you not use normal MagSafe on the iPhone?
No. It's
you can. It's just that this MagSafe battery specifically is
very
it's
tall.
specifically designed for the size.
it's really
of
thin
the
and really
Air.
tall.
Yeah.
in the biggest red flag of all red flags, they've designed a battery just for this ultra thin phone that you can slap to the back.
yeah.
And like, yeah, we could always slap a battery to the back of your phone, but you're like, oh, for this one, we're going to make a special one because we know people are going to want
And
this.
it makes it the same thickness as the regular one.
It makes it the same thickness as a regular phone, and it totals now the same overall battery as the Pro Max.
Right.
With that 3,150 milliamp
as the
hour
Pro
battery.
Max?
As the Pro Max.
Oh,
Bro,
that's kinda
everyone
fire.
everyone says they want a modular phone, and then we get a sort of modular phone. Everyone's like, red flag.
Well, okay. Do
slap
you
another battery on
remember?
it.
Do you remember the Moto Z?
Yeah.
That was before Ellis came
Ultra
online.
thin.
Yeah.
Moto Z was like
I was
the
still in
thinnest.
preschool when that came out.
That was a ridiculously
so
thin
thin.
phone. It might have also been 5 millimeters, like a USB-C
was
port
so
barely fit in
thin.
that phone.
Yeah.
And they had the pins on the back, and you could slap a battery to the back, and
Yeah,
they had a
true.
specially designed. That was also a red flag.
There's a projector. You can
It's
put
the
on
same-
Projector, yeah.
Yeah, or
What?
yeah,
It was a projector
so you
attachment.
Could,
yeah.
You could slap the battery on the back, charge up the battery, then pop that off and put another Moto Mod on the back and do other stuff with it, or take it off and use it as a super thin phone. And that was really cool. But it's like, yeah, they did the battery accessory because they knew that this phone would need that type of thing.
Yeah.
Same exact red flag here. It's just an Apple design language, and it's very pretty and it's nice, but it is definitely going to have a bad battery life without that thing.
Yeah.
So now we know.
What would you consider a bad battery life for this?
Valid question. So they said all day battery without this battery bank. I tend to measure my battery life in screen on time, which is like this old stat that's come from Android phones where it's like, I have had my phone on for 4.5 hours today, and here's the breakdown of all the apps that I was using it for 4.5 hours for. A good battery life for me used to be 4 hours. Now it's 7 or 8.
That's really good, right?
Yeah, 8 hours of
It is
screen on
really
time.
good.
I
is
think
an
like
A+.
5, 6 feels like a
5 or 6 is like
good,
good.
like fine, good.
And I would suspect that this one's going to be 4 to 5, which is usable. It's probably fine, but it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good battery life.
Yeah.
That's where
I'm guessing 4. They quote 27 hours of playback.
of video playback,
Video
which is
playback.
what 2/3 of the
Yeah, which
40?
is
39 was the
39 is the Pro Max.
from
Pro Max.
Yeah.
Pro is
Okay.
33.
33.
like 3/4. Yeah.
Yeah. And then with the battery, they quote 40 hours
Okay.
of playback. So, I still think it's just that they're going to make that foldable, and they needed to engineer the components. And
You were
then-
saying this is what Samsung just did.
Yeah, this is literally what Samsung just did. They released the S25 Edge, and then like 3 months later, they released the Fold 7, which is the S25 Edge in 2 parts.
Part
that
two.
slaps itself together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part yeah. Yeah.
So you're saying foldable iPhone confirmed?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, next year probably, I'm sure.
Just checking.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, now that would allow them, and if they were able to fit the entire foldable iPhone in the plateau, then the second half of the foldable iPhone could all be battery.
That would
and
be
it could
incredible.
get crazy battery life.
That's the one Ellis is buying.
Yeah.
Straight from a mini to a fold.
No, there's got to be something in between, bro.
They're-
My phone is like the past 2 weeks have been specifically so painful on the 12, the old 12 mini. She's barking.
Did I tell you the lady on the flight next to me on the way here had a Z Fold 7?
Oh, 7.
She
That's
never
sick.
closed it.
Wow.
Never closed
Legend.
it.
Did it
You know,
die in
it's the
5
best
minutes?
place to-
We're doing a bonus episode that'll come out after this where we talk to people on the street at the Apple event. Three separate people that we talked to had 12 series phones.
Oh, interesting. 12 series phone.
No one had a mini.
Okay.
Seriously.
I don't think you needed to clarify.
Well, that's kind of where we're at as far as like, we talk about this every year with Apple and targeting. Like, you probably don't need a new phone every single year, but how far back are you that you should upgrade to these new phones? And I think it's probably pretty common for people to be right around the 12 or the 13 series right now.
Yeah.
And those people will find any of these tempting, I think.
Yeah, this is something I was thinking about actually earlier when we were doing the Pixel stuff, because I switched over to the Pixel and I noticed I was just texting people and it was just like RCS chat with this person, RCS chat with this person. And I was like, Apple was really stubborn about adding RCS, but the fact that they force people to update their software and that their software update numbers are so high
Pretty nice.
means that, wow, I can use RCS with all these iPhone people now, and I didn't have to force them to update their phones.
Yeah. It was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
Yeah. So I think the 17 Air. I think the iPhone Air. Am I allowed to call it 17 Air?
No.
Is that-
No.
Okay. I think the iPhone Air is a really interesting bet. We will be testing it. I will find out exactly how good or bad the battery life is. Stay tuned. Get subscribed. You
It
wanna
does
see that
feel
stuff.
and look amazing, I have to say.
It does feel super light and super thin and very impressive, just like the thin iPad, just like the S25 Edge, just like the S11 Ultra tablet.
Just like the
but-
iPhone 6.
That 6 Plus that had a reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll see if it bends. But the idea is it's a super thin phone, and we'll see how well it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more thing.
One more thing.
Uh-oh.
That's very appropriate. Very
Vision
fitting.
Pro 2.
It is a little. This is just something I noticed. As far as I can tell, none of these new phones that were announced are compatible with the Apple polishing.
Oh,
cloth.
yeah, true.
No
As of
way.
right now, the polishing
It's-
cloth
it's
is
not-
only
I'm-
up to the iPhone
I've been
16
refreshing
Pro.
the page to make sure that they didn't update it.
They still
are
haven't.
so right.
So
That's
be
crazy.
careful.
If you use
We
this-
might get polishing cloth 2,
Yeah. That's
2
what I was
times
thinking.
softer.
I don't want to make any.
Ooh.
I don't want to make any like claims, but allegedly, if you use the Apple polishing cloth on any of the 17 series phones or the Air, it will be destroyed instantly.
Did you
It will
miss
not
our-
Yeah,
survive.
it's like a
wave
particle and an
interference.
antiparticle.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
did this
it's
as an
matter and
April Fool's
antimatter.
joke a while ago. We took
Yeah.
the first phone that's not on the list,
Dude.
and like Marquez did sleight of hand to pretend to wipe it, and then it would just shatter like right after.
Life imitates art, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
Could happen.
I think somebody just has to update the page here.
Yeah, probably.
But you know what else imitates art?
Trivia.
Nice.
Thanks. Before I hit
AI.
the second button, I just want to say big shout out and thank you to the amazing audio engineering team running this session right now, whose limiters are so dialed in that I literally couldn't clip my mic when I tried to yell at Andrew earlier. It just doesn't work. But anyway,
And everyone else who helped here set this up, always appreciate it.
yeah, truly.
There's lighting and camera, and I know you like
Motion.
sound so much.
I don't know what any of that stuff is.
Ellis only cares about audio.
I only care about audio
Were you paying attention?
and whether you guys were paying attention or not. Guys,
Genlock.
Genlock. That's it. I just care about Genlock. Guys, there's
All
a
my homies.
new thing that they added to the trail loop. And I just want to say, when I was writing this question, I kept being like, I'm calling it the trail loop. It's called the trail band. A trail loop is what you walk on when you do a hike.
Damn, I've been calling
And
it trail loop this
and
whole
I
time.
kept changing. Well, it is called the
It
trail
is
loop.
called the
Oh
trail
my
loop.
God.
Yeah, I double wronged
Okay.
myself. But what's new with it, guys? What did they? Here, I'll give you a little.
What's
hint.
the deal with
what
the
did
trail
they
loop?
Add.
To the trail loop.
Yes.
Specifically.
Yeah.
They mentioned this a couple times.
I'm not
Did they?
shocked that Andrew knows this.
I missed it
Yeah.
every time.
It's
then.
my favorite band they make, so much so that I have
I'm
a
wearing it right now.
knockoff Garmin version of it.
The knockoff version is going to add this too, for sure.
Oh yeah, it
probably
might have already had it.
I mean, they'll add it just because on the Amazon
David, what
link
are you
they can
doing on
add
your
one
laptop
more
right
thing
now?
to the title.
Just making sure we
David.
didn't miss any emergency things that happened. Like,
Okay.
you know,
Well, if you get this question
I'm
right,
getting
I'm
this.
going to be skeptical.
I'm getting this wrong.
All right, everyone who wants to go first.
I think Andrew.
I
wrote the
think
same
David-
thing
I
as
think we
me.
wrote this.
Okay, so why doesn't David go first then?
Because I'm wrong.
Well, because you put the different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I wrote magnets.
Yes. Actually, did they? No, they didn't add magnets, but they did add magnets to a lot of stuff this year.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, we didn't talk about the crossbody
I
strap.
know.
That's
You
fine.
know, hey, hey.
We just did. There we go.
Look,
That's fine.
it's very popular in Asia.
It has
So-
I
magnets
think it's
now.
popular in a lot.
Yeah, they have a crossbody strap has magnets.
Yeah.
So that's why I was thinking maybe the trail loop.
No, I like the way you think, and you're right. We need more crossbody.
I thought he was wrong.
He's wrong.
All right. What is the answer?
The answer is what Andrew and Marquez put, which is 1, 2, 3.
Reflective thread.
type of material.
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Technically, if we're being pedantic, you're both wrong.
Let's go.
Because they refer to it everywhere as a reflective yarn.
I just remember it was like I thought they mentioned it was woven.
But I think
Yarn's not thread.
I think I'll give you the point,
I
Marquez.
said material.
Well,
Is yarn not a material?
Thread is part of matter.
The idea is the trail loop now has on the outsides it's got this little reflective material in it, which will make you more visible.
I
when
feel like
you're on
they
the
didn't
trail.
show that in the. Could you see it when you saw it? Like, could you see the reflective thing?
I mean, yeah, but it was in
Marketing
like
at its
daylight.
finest.
I
So.
want to see what it looks like. They didn't show it
Yeah.
on the thing, but I
want to
thought
see.
it was interesting.
I want to see what it looks like patinaed because a lot of the 3M reflective material only lasts like a few years before it's no longer reflective.
You should have updated 3 times by then.
Just get a new watch, bro.
How did you erase this?
My fingy.
Yeah.
Do you want to use my fingy?
Yeah.
You have to.
Wait, so does
Yeah.
Andrew get that point?
Yeah, Marquez and Andrew got that
Okay,
point.
okay.
I'm just being a little nudnik over here.
Got it.
Sometimes magnets are reflective.
Sometimes.
If you polish them with
They call
I'm
it.
pretending
With
like I know
Genlock.
the clock
with Gen,
thing.
if you polish if you take the Black Magic iPhone accessory and you rub it on a rare earth magnet.
I just love that Apple will randomly like bring out some random like industry term that 98% of the people that are watching the event have no idea what
Not
it
to
means.
keep talking about Genlock, but the really cool part about using an iPhone as a camera is that you can use so many of them with such a small space and power footprint. And so the ability to frame sync 50 cameras like that, 60 cameras, 100 cameras, you can literally make up a number. That really opens up the door to a lot of like experimental filmmaking, especially in what we do. Like picture what we could do in Robot Room with 200 iPhones all gen locked.
I'm gonna gen lock
You hear
myself
that,
in a
Brandon?
room after this event.
Brandon's here. I'm gonna pass it over to Adam now because I've been talking for a while.
Second,
You don't have to pass it over because we each have our own mic.
Oh my God.
I know, it's weird.
Icky.
So, question number 2, but first, quick update on the score. Marques.
Wait, quick update on the score.
wait.
Marquez and I were right last week about the
God.
89
Okay,
on the
yes,
DxO
yes.
mark, so update that score.
So, last week, the question was what score DxO Mark did the Pixel have when it launched, the first one?
Yeah.
You both put 89. That is what it was when it launched. They changed it after to 90. So a lot of people yelled at me saying that it was 89 and you guys got it right. So fine. You guys get the point. So question number 2.
Yeah.
They showed off 2 new watch faces for the Apple Watch Series 11.
Mickey
One
Mouse?
of them was called Flow.
Mickey Mouse.
The other one was a modern interpretation of a traditional regulator clock. What was that one called?
also, why the music's playing, you never actually updated the scores.
I know. Marquez has 4 now. Andrew has 7. David has 2.
What?
Yeah, David. Come on. What's going on?
Whoa.
David, get your head in the game, bro.
Dang.
He spent all his karma last
Yeah,
year.
He wins 1 trivia and then that's it. He
I
gives
guess
up.
so. Make sure you give me 30 points in the extravaganza.
Yeah.
I'm not getting this right.
Flip him
All
and
right.
read. What do you got?
This question's now worth 30 points.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Who wants to go first?
did we all write the same thing, actually?
What'd you
I don't
write?
know.
Oh, I'm wrong.
I wrote the waypoint face.
That was a cool thing they
That was on the
added.
Ultra, and
that
that
the
was a
always
cool
on
one,
display could live update
Yeah.
with the like one refresh rate.
Andrew and I both wrote Hermes.
Hermes.
Yeah.
That was one of the new faces.
It was like the
if you
Clock
got the
Town.
band.
It was a
Thing.
cool one, but no, that's not
Okay.
the one. This one's called Exactograph.
Oh,
Rolls off the tongue.
wow.
That's pretty cool. That
Um,
sounds cool.
It was a cool one. I liked it.
What was the sync clock or whatever it was?
Genlock.
No.
Genlock?
I'm just gonna start.
Did someone say
saying that.
Genlock?
Next year it's gonna be Genlock Gen 2.
Oh my God.
Gen
Nice.
2.
2x
No, it's going to
more.
be next gen Genlock.
2
Gen 2 lock here.
I have a question.
Why
If
is it
you
always
guys,
Genlock and never Jennifer Lock, huh? Why are we not being formal?
Why
If
is
you
it
guys were
Genlock and
Apple,
not Gen, how are you?
or if you were betting on Apple,
Ew.
what do you think is the next most likely pro-named feature to move to a non-pro device?
This podcast is sponsored by Polymarket and DraftKings. That's not true. Only allegedly. I think they're gonna
Genlock Pro.
The next Pro. Wait, ask the question again. I was too busy making a bad
So
joke.
ProMotion was the first pro-labeled feature to move to a non-pro labeled
Yeah.
device in the 17 Air or the Air.
Yeah.
What is the next between like ProRes RAW, Pro RAW photos, between all the pro labeled features, what's the next most likely you think they could move?
Pro Fusion.
Is that a thing?
No.
The cameras.
That's
Fusion.
pro.
That's just called Fusion. And they
thought
already
it was
the
Pro
base
Fusion.
the bases already have that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it already has it.
It's just
There you go.
no. It's not.
I feel
Pro
like- but it's not called Pro
It's just
Fusion.
called Fusion.
It's just
camera.
Fusion camera.
Yeah, I think it's
I feel
gonna
like you're thinking of that other fusion thing from a long time ago.
Deep Fusion.
Deep fusion.
Oh god, Deep
What are
Fusion.
there
Also
even that
not
many
pro.
pro features left? Other
There's only
than
like
the-
4 by
there's
name.
Pro
I think they're all
RAW.
camera. Pro RAW photos,
I think they're gonna-
ProRes video, ProRes RAW video, and Pro.
Prologue.
Prologue.
Is there anything else?
I think every new iPhone is going to come with a Honda Prologue.
Oh yeah.
I would believe that before Pro.
I think it's gonna be Pro Raw.
Pro RAW. Yeah, I could see that. You need a lot of storage for ProRes video, but you can do Pro RAW.
Yeah, you could do Pro Raw.
I can
I'll
see
go
that.
and they're going
I
to
think-
announce another pro feature, and that will be the one that comes first.
They
just
have,
don't know
they
it
they
yet.
eventually have to start moving them over, right? Because like that's what happens every year. Is every single year they take the base iPhone and they take something that was just in the better iPhone from the previous year and they
Yeah.
put it in the base iPhone.
So they have to be careful about what they name Pro because they have
Yeah.
to be sure they're not going to move it.
yeah, they ran out.
And they just, yeah.
I'm just surprised that they called it that. Like they could have called it something else and just said it was worse for some reason.
So you guys have all failed. There's actually already one. The A19 Pro is in the iPhone Air.
Oh,
Yeah, but the Air,
Marques, you
but
dog.
the Air is not. It's
not a Pro.
It's not a numbered. Yeah, I guess. But if it started,
Well,
in
it
it,
is a non-pro
Also,
phone.
it's not.
Yeah.
But it is a
Yeah, it's a
non-pro
non-pro.
phone. But the iPhone Air is not like a numbered phone. You know, like
Yeah.
the iPhone 16.
I agree.
iPhone 17.
But I'm just saying, A19 Pro, non-pro phone. So
Who
there you
says
go.
the Air isn't a Pro?
Air Pro Max.
The name.
yeah,
English.
Air
Nah,
Pro.
yeah, okay.
Hey, we've been chatting for a while.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching and listening. Of course, your regularly scheduled programming will continue, but stay tuned for some other programming. But stay tuned for
Nice.
some other stuff that's also in the pipeline. It's Techtember and Techtober. There's a lot of stuff always happening. So get subscribed if you haven't already. Thanks again to Apple for hosting us here. Thanks again to you for watching and subscribing. Back to one mic, you two.
Yeah, unfortunately.
See you guys next week. Peace.
Genlock.
Waveform is produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We are a partner with Vox Media Podcast Network, and our outro music was created by Vane Still.
Bingo.
And the entire team here at Apple.
And the entire team here at Apple.
Hit it out.
Very much appreciated.
Pulse.
17
Except because of Redshift, it takes way too long for the pulse to get through. Yeah.
Too deep, David.
Sorry. Okay.
I don't think I can name all the planets.